What is it that the rich and powerful seek in life? Money? Power? No. Protection. Protection from the harsh and dangerous outside world. The outside world that is hell-bent on making sure you don't make it past 12 without being torn to shreds. What's up, everybody? I have returned. It's been a bit rough lately. I've been quite low on energy, so I haven't been too active recently. But luckily for me, I have gained another form of autism that has restored my humanity. Fallout Shelter. It is a very fun and yet very boring game. Fallout Shelter takes place in the Fallout universe, a universe very much like our own, but with one key difference. The world has been blown to fucking smithereens. This all happened when Israel signed up to the Americans and the Chinese into launching all their nukes at each other. And now the whole world looks like Birmingham. But luckily, we have the vaults, a place where you could escape the harsh outside world and sit inside all day and get inbred with each other. You are the overseer of one of these vaults, and your job is to keep everyone inside your vault alive and nothing else. Sounds easy, right? Well, that's because it is. This game was built for retarded people. I'm serious. The mechanics in this game are as simple as they come. You see these 3 bars right here? Food, water, and electricity? You must keep these bars up at all times, otherwise chaos will ensue. Your vault dwellers will then become depressed and stop working productively. In order to stop that from happening, you need to build rooms that generate resources, and then put vault dwellers inside these rooms to work as unpaid interns, but for life. Everyone in your vault will work for 24 hours straight, no breaks, just work. The only other purpose that they are useful for is for breeding, but we'll get into that later. When you place down your vault rooms, they can come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. The size determines the output of whatever product you may be producing and how many people you could fit inside the room as well. Upgrades also increase the output of resources, but the best way to get max productivity is by giving the right people the right jobs. Special is how you determine if the person you just let inside your vault is a demigod with incredible stats or a useless malformed troglodyte whose only purpose is to be cannon fodder and nothing else. Each job requires a certain stat. Giving a person a job with that higher stat is some real simple shit. So, now that we know we need vault dwellers, how do we get vault dwellers in the first place? Well, there are a multitude of ways to do this, but the easiest way is to get every single woman pregnant. But wait, you don't want these children to be born retarded, do you? Or even worse, useless non-verbal grunts that don't contribute anything to society, right? Well, there's a simple way to stop this from happening, and I'm gonna tell you how. Eugenics. What is eugenics, you might be wondering? Well, you see this disgusting lobotomized creature right here? Well, this creature has absolutely 0 good genetic qualities. If God forbid this creature reproduces with another human being that has even worse genetic qualities than him, those bad genes will get passed down to their child, thus making the child a super retard. This logic also applies to Fallout Shelter. So here's what you're gonna do. Find a male with the best special stats you could find. The one I have right here will do nicely. The cream machine will be the father of our vault. Get him to breed with every woman in the vault, starting off with the genetically superior ones and then work your way down. But rehounded, you might be wondering, what about inbreeding? Don't worry about it. Even the most genetically close relatives can have children. You can also get people to have better special stats by teaching them in different skills. This does take a long time though, and is very expensive. And it will not give you any new vault dwellers, which is a very important thing to do if you want to expand your vault. So, now that we know all this information, you might be wondering, how do we get our dwellers to mate? Well, that is a very good question. All you need to do is place a female and male dweller inside the living quarters room, and then just let the sexual tension flare right on up. In about 5 minutes, the pair of them will go into the back room and then raw dog it until the woman looks like she's about to give birth in about 5 minutes. But don't be fooled. It could take upwards of 3 real-life hours for her to give birth, and that's just the birthing part. The subsequent child will take about 6 real-life hours until they are eligible to work. Unfortunately, child slave labor is not an option. Also, a quick answer for the homos in my audience. No, you cannot get dwellers to have gay sex in this game. I am very sorry to bring this news to you. We have a saying in the 6-7 vault, if he's a fag, he gets the bag. There are also 2 other ways to get vault dwellers in your vault as well. using a radio broadcast, or gambling. Yes, opening a vault lunchbox will give you a special dweller if you are lucky. But apart from that, there is nothing else you could do. Money. Everyone needs it, and you need it to do basically anything in Fallout Shelter. Money allows you to do amazing things, such as build more rooms that allow you to make more shit. Now, there are a multitude of ways to make more money, but the easiest way is to do quests. But unfortunately, the quests are incredibly boring and shit. The quest starts off with you picking 3 people to go on this epic journey. You then have to give them all your medical supplies and then send them out. You will then have to wait a few hours for them to actually get to their destination. Once you arrive, you will then have to walk into a giant building and kill whatever's inside and loot and plunder anything that's not nailed down. This is the only type of quest structure there is in the entire game. There is no other quest that is different in any other way. Just the same shit over and over again, and you've got to wait a few hours to do it. And the combat in these quests are even more poorly thought out than the quests themselves. The combat is essentially walking into a room. The combat will then start automatically. You will then need to wait for a few interesting things to happen. You would either have to heal your character by pressing one button, or give your character RadAway by pressing one button. And the final thing you've got to do is press a check mark that appears above an enemy's head at a random time. Once you click the said check mark, a timed minigame will then start. Now, I know what you're thinking. This combat system sounds like shit. Well, that's because it is. Once you kill all the enemies, you could then loot their corpses and anything inside the room, which will be marked by a little sparkle. Once you've killed everything and completed the quest, you will then have to wait a couple hours until they get back. The rewards you receive in these quests can also vary heavily in quality. The other way you can make money in this game is by setting your dwellers out to explore the wasteland. This is very much like the way quests work, except you don't go into buildings to kill or loot things. You pretty much just do nothing while they explore the wasteland all by themselves. You don't have to do anything except ask for them to come back when you are ready. I'm sure you could see a consistent pattern here. Waiting. It's pretty much this whole video game's thing. You wait for something to happen, then you click, then you wait again. Unlike modern games where your dopamine receptors are usually getting absolutely assaulted by every game you see, Fallout Shelter takes a different approach by boring you to death instead. Some might say it's not the moment-to-moment gameplay that makes this game fun, but the gradual growth of your vault and slowly seeing everything grow until you essentially beat the game. And then after that, it somehow gets even more boring. There is one thing, however, that can happen that may cause a little dopamine to flow into your brain, which is getting a visit from the mysterious stranger. He sneaks his way into your vault and then he makes a noise. This noise will cause you to frantically search around for him until he leaves. This is the single most exciting thing that could happen in this game.